Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. We made it to the end of the week. Pat yourself on the back, give yourself a gold star because we made it, folks. So, I'm Claire Jones, if we haven't already met. I'm an author and small publisher committed to changing the world for the better through inclusive stories and practices. And I'm jumping on today to continue my self-published author series where I go over every step and strategy to write, publish, and start selling your book in a year. And if you're joining me, please like, comment, share below. Let us know that you're here. And today we're going to continue with the much anticipated episode on marketing channels. This is the most common question that I get from my audiences all the time. Pretty much every single day, people ask me how to market themselves. And today we're going to go over this to make sure that we can target the right customers in the right places. So if you're interested in the full rundown of what I'm discussing today, check out my comprehensive, almost 300-page self-published author 52-week planner. All of the details are on linktr.ee/clairjoyance. I can't possibly shove all of the information that's in the planner into these episodes, so there's so much more for you in the planner, and I'm just giving you a very brief overview for today for the marketing channels. So let's pretty much dive into it. Social media and marketing as a whole is the most common topic that people ask me about because it's typically something that they see as unnecessarily convoluted and constantly changing, because it can quickly become a never-ending game of trying to hack the system or fool the algorithm. We always have those conversations of how to best present ourselves in the marketing landscape, and that's what we're talking about today. So people come to me asking me for the magic pill that's going to solve all of their marketing problems. But the problem is that they don't really like my answer when I give it to them because it's not what they're expecting and it's not necessarily what they want to do, but it really is worthwhile, because if I had to boil all of marketing down to one concept, it would be relationships over transactions. Let me repeat that again. Marketing equals relationships over transactions, and relationships take time to build, which is why most people are not willing to do the work that it takes to make that successful for them. So there is an emotional aspect to engaging customers and clients. People must grow to know, like, and trust you before they are willing to buy from you. And this requires an intentional and consistent focus on relationship building. This is because there are multitudes of options out there nowadays. There are a ton of options out there nowadays. So chances are that you are not the only one who offers what you're offering. You are going to have competitors. There are probably at least a dozen, if not more, other people out there who are offering the same, if not the very similar, books that you want to write. This is specifically targeted towards authors, but this applies to all businesses and anyone who wants to monetize their creative outputs. So why are potential customers going to choose you over everyone else? And this is because they know, like, and trust you. People will go to great lengths to support and buy from the people that they know, like, and trust. We're human. We are evolutionarily wired for social connection, and our brains just prefer the people that align with and reflect our own worldviews, values, and goals. So how can you intentionally use that to create an audience of fans that are wanting to buy from you? By strategically choosing the right marketing channels to distribute your brand messaging. And that's why we started with brand first, because we need to solidify that worldview, those values, those offerings, those goals that they can align with before you distribute it out into the world. You have to have that brand persona developed before you start distributing it. So even though there are a lot of conversations around social media when it comes to marketing, these days, I want to encourage you all to take a broader perspective. This is not a social media talk. If that can shock you, let it shock you. We are not talking about social media today. We are talking about marketing channels. So this is because I follow the data-based research behind marketing. And this comes primarily from the Nielsen Group, which is a global online consumer survey company. And they have done a significant amount of research into what marketing sources are most trusted by consumers, meaning that they are more willing to follow through with what the marketing is asking them to do than other marketing channels. And they have found that recommendations from people I know, recommendations that are personal, comes from people within your immediate circles, tops the list. This is the most trusted form of marketing, is recommendations, person-to-person recommendations, with 89.2% of consumers trusting it. So the next most trusted marketing channel, according to the Nielsen survey, and this data comes from 2022, so it's very recent, is branded websites. That is the second most trusted marketing channel. So number one is recommendations from people I know, person-to-person recommendations. And number two is branded websites, which is again why we started with brands and websites before we even got to the conversation on marketing channels. They have found that 71% of consumers trust websites that are set up intentionally to not only showcase products and services, but also reflect the values, vision, and mission of the company, organization, or public figure. This is why we started with branding and websites first. So that's number two for the most trusted marketing source. Number three is ads in newspapers. That might be a shocker to you as well. Number three on the list is ads in newspapers, with 68.5% of consumers trusting that marketing channel. And that's because they trust that established press source already to provide them with information on their current events, on what's going on, so on and so forth. And so that trust that the consumers give to that established press organization is going to automatically transfer to you if you advertise through that press organization. So this follows the same logic of recommendations from people I know, but is one more step removed, and it's more like press organizations that I know. Recommendations from press organizations I know is going to be a more trusted marketing source than social media, for example. So ads in newspapers are a hugely undervalued marketing channel that a lot of people don't consider in their marketing strategies, but it is highly effective and carries a high ROI, which is a return on investment for your efforts and time spent. So that's number three on the list, ads in newspapers. Number four on the list is ads before movies. So think about movies in the theater. This is actually a tricky one for us who don't have massive budgets to spend on ads like this, but the logic is that consumers can readily grasp that if a product or service is featured in this way in an ad before a movie, the company or the person selling it is probably already successful and desirable because they have the budget to spend on this kind of stuff. So don't worry about this in your marketing strategies yourself. I just wanted to plug that for information's sakes. Something for food for thought. And then finally, at number five on the list is consumer opinions posted online. So Nielsen has found that 67% of consumers trust other consumers' opinions that they post publicly on online boards, product pages, websites, profiles, anywhere where you find written reviews posted online. And this is very important for authors because we're talking about reader reviews here. We're talking about your Amazon reviews. We're talking about your Barnes & Noble's reviews. We're talking about your Goodreads reviews. And this is super important for creatives, for all businesses, for authors, because you need to create some type of systematic strategy for soliciting reader reviews as well as displaying the reviews that you get. So this is very important for your online profiles, like your Amazon profiles, your Goodreads profiles, your Barnes & Noble profiles, but also for your websites and your product pages. You have to be able to demonstrate and display that other readers have read your work and recommend it to other readers. And so we'll get into later episodes of how to find those readers and how to engage those readers and not deal with ghosters, because that's also a big problem in the world of authorship. Is, you know, if you get a beta reader, who ghosts you and never gives you their response, that's not what we want. So we want to strategically and intentionally cultivate these types of marketing channels so that you can have a better chance of reaching the people that you want to reach and convincing the people that you want to convince. So those are the top 5 marketing channels. And notice that none of them are social media ads. None of them are social media ads. Social media ads are actually one of the least trusted marketing channels out there according to the consumer surveys. So keep that in mind as you're going. And if you want more information on all of this, I have pages and pages and pages of information on this in the planner. All of the details are on linktr.ee/clairjoyance. So next time I'll be jumping on to talk about content creation to make sure that we can consistently build that know, like, and trust factor with our audiences. So in the meantime, please remember that you all have extraordinary stories to share, and I'm rooting for you as you use them to change the world for the better. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you on Monday.